Let's see what's in Paul's visions.
Lovely Diana, reign of magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Her arrows darken the sky, a flight of ravens flying through. Ophir harp, dark lord melody shining through. Death inducer, raining blood, bite your lip. Bellissima in the vampire dress, cracking leather whips. Reign with your magic. Hail Satan, spells of Lucifer. Hail Satan, Catherine of the wheel. Hail Satan, the lake of fire is clear. Sing the muse. Reign with magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Goat head soup, it's magic. You can have a giant rubber devil in a tight dress. Whiplash. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Mr. Sandman with the hot purple anointing cream. It knocks him out. The drugs weigh a ton. Snow blonde, do your makeup. Girl, be my private dancer. Hecate says I'm her main squeeze. Lucifer, the light bearer. Myrtle of Venus.
Welcome back to the Renaissance Portal. Oh, God. This is going to be great today, people. And, I know I say that a lot, but, it's always new, man. It's always this gorgeousness is just, people don't get this stuff. Nobody comes together to see this stuff. It's just hiding. It's hiding in plain sight, people. You're going to absolutely love it. Totally different document tonight. One you have never seen. One I didn't see until the beginning of this week. Right? That's how crazy this is. Can you imagine? Think about this for a minute, people, as we're getting warmed up here. The library in Alexandria, with it somewhere between 60 and 120 to 150,000 scrolls. And we haven't even reached halfway into the authors that we could get into. You can study this stuff for 35 years and come across new material all the time. And let me just reassure you something. Nobody is reading this. Nobody is working on these. Nobody cares about this material. The material that I'm going to give you today is from the Apocalypse of Paul. And you say, I didn't know Paul wrote an apocalypse. Yes, you didn't know that because it is so creepy, drug-using, visionary, crazy that you haven't been able to be privy to it. They've taken it away from you. Well, thanks to Amen, we're going to get access to it directly. We're not going to sit here and talk about why we love our belly button so much, right? No, we're going to actually look at text, people, because I don't care what people think about me, right? Neither do you. Do I care what they think about you? No, I don't care about what they think about you. Shouldn't care about what they think about me. All I want to do is give you this material, and this stuff is hot today. I'm going to give you a couple of passages, that's all, and I want to generate discussion. This is what we're doing here is called Renaissance Portal for a reason. We need to engage. We need to bring back that round table that brings us enlightenment. That's what we need to do. And that's one thing I can do with this faster speed here that I've got going. That's right. That's right, Samara. The fire has been lit and we are ready to go. And in fact, cheers to the congregation. Everybody out there, thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting me with your attention. You people don't send me money. Lady Babylon and congregation doesn't pay. Congregation, how much have you paid for Lady Babylon? Put your for this show. Put it in there. Put it in there, right? 0, baby. We don't take any advertisers, right? We don't take sponsors. We don't take anybody because we're not paid. We are a free service. Now, the reason you don't, I want people to realize the reason is not because I'm a good person, right? And I'm just into, philanthropy. Not at all. No, no, no. Devil was straight up with me. He said, "You can't sign this contract unless you don't take money for it." I said, "What?" And he said, "You can't, man." And I said, "Why, devil?" And he said, "It'll corrupt you, dude." He said, "It'll corrupt you." He did, right? As soon as you start talking, I want you to realize, people, do me a favor, just for a minute. Think about the shows that you can watch on YouTube. Think about the programs that you got out there that you can watch. Now, every time you go, you are watching a person who has prepared, thinking, this is for money. Should I say this? Should I say this? Should I not say this? Everything is built around money. So when you are free of that, and people, we're the freest of the free. We're the freest of the free. Only here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think, I can't verify this, but I think we're probably the highest ranking YouTube that is not monetized, right? That won't take money, right? We're the highest that won't turn itself into a business. Right? Think about that for a minute. How many people, how many channels out there do you think have 40,000 some subscribers? Which, by the way, we get those honestly. Nobody's buying them, people. Did you know you can buy views? It's really weird. When I found that out, I was like, well, that makes things different, right? And we don't. Why don't we, right? Same reason. I can't spend any money on it, people, because I can't have it corrupt the system. How's the audio, by the way? Give Chewy a heads up if the audio is bad, please. Right? Let him know. Let Chewy know. Tin can? Tin can, no tin can. Fantastic. Oh, God. My favorite part is to see you. Oh, fine. That's funny. Look at the congregation coming, right? We owe you, congregation, a lot of thanks and a lot of, hey, we love you too, babies. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Keep it up now. I need you to be serious. I don't need your love. Right now, I need your brain. I need your sexy, smart brain, and I need you to sit here at the round table with me. We're going to look at one of the first slides. Now, I didn't want to start off with this, but I'm going to go ahead. Because I kind of want to hit you with the crazy. You know what I mean? Let's do this. Boom. What is this from, people? I just told you it was Apocalypse of Paul. I'm going to take you to the Apocalypse of John first. And this is not an apocalypse that you have read, right? It's not the Apocalypse of John. It is another Apocalypse of John. And I just want you to look at the second line, the first word, and I'm going to I can't outline here with this one, but I'll circle it with my little thingy. Antichristos. Do you see this? Antichrist. Antichrist, right? And what does it say? It says that accuser will appear. He's assigned to the darkness, and he's called the Antichrist. Yeah. And I said, Lord, right? Show me whoever this dude is going to be. And I heard a voice saying to me, the form of the face of the Antichrist will be holding the darkness, and his hair will fly as swift as an arrow, and his brow will be wrinkled, and his eyes, the right one will be like the morning star, and the left one will be like a lion. And he's got not so attractive teeth. He's got not so attractive, make me small. He's got not so attractive teeth. That was interesting. I thought when I saw that, that's a brilliant thing. 2 different eyes. What do people think about that? 2 different eyes. Did you know the Antichrist had 2 different eyes? Did you know that his hair was swift to fly away? Did you know that? Did you know where the name is written? What about his eyes? right? These are just, I just want to throw these out there. People, Antichrist. I know it's early to talk about the Antichrist, but tell me, did you know the Antichrist had two different eyes? One of them like the morning star, and one of them like a lion. Now, here's the trick. These are cultist creeps. You know what I mean? These are cultist creeps doing all this stuff. All the apostles, all the people involved in the mystery, they are cultists, right? And what do? They use a language. They use a language that is coded. If you look up the term lion, you're going to find a lion is a lion most of the time, but sometimes a lion is a poisonous snake in Thrace. Yeah, a lion, particularly like the ones that the ladies are carrying around with them who are celebrating Bacchus in groups of lonely maenads looking out in the mountains for somebody to find that they can be a companion with, that they can throw around like a cat throwing around a mouse, and then they can eat him. Oh, God. What happened to the good old days, right? What happened to the good old days? Why does the Antichrist have two different eyes? Can somebody please? I'm serious. This is the advantage of this Renaissance portal, is that we have to have good response. Let's see what Snappy thinks, right? Sounds like Nosferatu. Alma needs to see that movie. Yeah, the vampire comes for the girl because she has the powers of the priestess of Isis. Isn't that sexy? That's nice. Thanks, Snappy. That's really cool. What do you think the two eyes things are, right? Hail the Antichrist. That's right. Let me take over to you. I want to see some responses. People, I'm going to get down to your responses. Your latest one. Oh, my. Wow, I was way at the top. Is this right? Okay. Okay. Come on, Snap. There's Snappy. Okay, now tell me, guys, why is this, right? I'm going to force you to be uncomfortable today. Put on your thinking cap. Put yourself in the place of the Antichrist and say, what the hell is this? The lion is always a sign of the great mother. Can be, right? Why? Because she's pacified them. She rides around them. They've got two at Mycenae. They've got two of them standing on each on one side of a pillar, a column, right? In the gateway, right as you enter into it. I went there. I've seen it. I saw Sophie of Mycenae. She was selling tickets out front. My goodness, Helen of Troy. They did have Helen over there, didn't they? One is a dote. One is an antidote. Good point, Gandhi. Christ and Antichrist. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. Okay, let me give you another one. See if this Lucifer is the morning star. You're right, Chuck. You're right. Right? Love it. Perhaps it's astrological, says Chuck. Look, Lucifer's morning star. Leo's a constellation. No problem. People, you've got to realize the cultural context. That's what Chuck is trying to help explain. You need a cultural context, right? Because when they're using these words, they're pulling into their minds all sorts of associations, just like you and I do with English. It's not odd, right? So we have to find out what those associations are, if we can do that. Okay, look at another piece here. What do I have? Should we pull in whoever you think is relevant? Look at this, people. One more from the Apocalypse of John that is not the book of the Revelation of John, right? Look in the salmon. Kalauso elfento arnion in prosten mukaero. Right? Tis anoixeto biblion tuto. That's a question. Who will open the book? What book are they trying to open here? Kalauso. Right? I order the lamb. Arnion. Wait a minute. You told me, and that can be a fleece. Yes, I did. I'm ordering the fleece to be brought. Who can open this book? Who can open this book? Okay. 2 revelations from a dude that you and I know who was a little kid when he knew Jesus. He was sitting on his lap. It says he comes up to his breasts. His apostleship is through this young age that Jesus is saying, you got to come through this age, you don't enter it. All of these apostles who were their apostles, they are youths. They are children. They are children. Now you understand why these apocalypses are so disturbing to the early church. They are the early church's documents. Okay, here we go. Let's go right to Paul. Let's go right to Paul. Boom. Oh, boom. People, look at this. I want you to see a couple of things. I'm going to show you a couple of important passages. Look at just to start here. Apocalypsis tu agio apostol Paulo. This is the apocalypse of the Holy Apostle Paul, which was shown to him when he was taken up to the third heaven, snatched into paradise, and heard the words that cannot be spoken. Doesn't that sound ominous? That sounds ominous, right? Right. Give me Chewy, give me the second 53 was the first one. 49. People, I want to go to a couple of pages with you. Can they see this scrolling up and down? Fantastic. Where are the things that are being practiced within the Jewish cult at the time of this Christian document? We have them right here. Here they are, people. Look, I've got a blue outliner. Woohoo! Isn't this great? People read this. Tade erga. Look at that third word, erga. That's a Mycenaean word, werga. Werga. That's the things that you bring about, baby. Do you know what they're bringing about in the cult of Abraham? Praton testa werga tu satana. Satana. Does everybody hear that? Make me small here. Yeah, no, that's cool. Satana. Does everybody see it? And you know what? Shorten that, Chewy. Bring it down so we can see a little bit of your mat. There we go. And what are they doing, people? They're following the ways of Satan. Now, if you're out there and you are Jewish or you're Christian or you're Muslim, you need to understand that your ways are the ways of Satan. Do you understand? The satanic verses are a part of your religion. They are the foundation. You are the generation of vipers. Oh, God. It's absolutely fantastic. Do you see? Now watch this, people. You think, oh, this is good for me to go to my church with. No, you shouldn't take this to church. Look what it says. Oftentimes the moon and the stars come to the Lord saying, oh, Lord, Pantocrator. Right? You see him in the Bible as Pantocrator. You see him here as Pantocrator. Or, oh, Lord, Pantocrator, we've come to you. Who has come to him? The moon and the stars. Why do they come to him? Because they hate people. They hate people. Look what people are doing. Oh, who else came to him? Who else came to him? The sun. The sun. Where'd the sun go? Sun's going to come to him. And sun's going to say, hey, I can't stand these people anymore. Give me here it is. Look at this, people. You love this line. Look at this line. Look what the sun tells to Theos, to God. Order me, and I will burn them. I will incinerate them. Not just burn. That's phleggo, right? Kataflego is like completely until they're just ashes. That's what the sun says about the people. Right? Okay. But what does God say? I have macrothumia. I have a big heart for these people that they may repent. Right? He's going to give them time. Okay. What's the next page, Chewy? Here's the title again, people. I just want you to see it. Just in case you didn't think this was the God of the Bible. Right? Now, this says, and I heard a voice. Right? There was a voice speaking to me. Everything that you're encountering right now in the apocalypse of Paul was when he was taken to the third heaven. And I need you to realize, congregation, and I'll ask you this question now. Why does Paul say he was taken to the third heaven? Why does he say, I don't know if it was in the flesh, I don't know if it was in the spirit, only God knows. And that's in the Bible, the accepted Bible. Right? There are all sorts of Christians who don't realize as they go sit and they listen to their pastor, to their priest, to their preacher, to their missionary, they don't realize that Paul took trips outside of himself into the invisible third heaven. Now, if you want to go to that invisible third heaven, I've got a way for you to get there. This is just a book documenting the trips of Paul the Apostle. And that is why the church could not take it. Do you understand? What is the date on this thing? It's 4th century, baby. It's 4th century. You mean the early Christians believed in the revelations of Paul through the use of drugs that included that which causes the eye to appear to be the lion? Do you understand? Fantastic. Fantastic. Just coincidentally, my eyes are different. I had to. The one side is an older gentleman who's killed in a motorcycle accident, and the other side is a young man who jumped into a river and broke his neck. I needed both their tissues because I was blind or going blind. And yeah, it's fantastic. I used to sit just by way of, nostalgia. I used to sit in the medical school and let medical students come into the ophthalmology office and take a look at my two different eyes. I've got a very rare condition. Anyway, oh, I forgot to tell you, I can see far with one and one near. gives me an advantage. Gives me an advantage. I love it. Okay. Now, people, what is going on? Let's go back to the text. I was going to ask you a question, but I got all excited there. And then I've got a special story for you. Next page, Chewy. Where's the next one we're going to? People, I want to go to page 49. Look at something here as I'm scrolling down. Oh, look at this. Somebody's putting on a golden girdle. Don't you like that? And what are they doing? They're shining like the sun. Okay. 48. If you want some of the most crazy visions you've ever seen, I mean, because Paul goes to hell, right? And the stuff that he sees there, it is not, it's pretty hard to handle, people. If you want kind of a cool psychedelic trip, read this thing. Even worse, read it under the influence, people. This thing will blow your mind. Right? 48? 53, sorry. Boo, boo, boo. What else? Look, here's the eschaton. That's nice. Anyway. Yeah. Oh God, this is all such good information, people. I'm scrolling through this and I'm just looking at it. I read it earlier in the week and I reviewed it this morning, and it is so compelling. The visions are so compelling. Okay. 53. Here we go. 53. Standing there before those gates, and the tree, it's got no fruit here. Right? He's talking about a tree, it's got no fruit, right? Here we are. Boop. Right. Okay, let me go down. Okay. Greetings, Paul, most beloved of the Lord. Yeah. And I said to the angel, right? Paul's talking to the angels, right? And if you've never talked to an angel, you are not a Christian. I can tell you right now. You're not a Christian, and you're not one of the Judeans who was involved in the oracular origins of Judaism. You aren't one of those. If you are not, you do not belong to this group of propheti. And remember, people, the word prophet, you see it right here at the end of the sentence. Look at this word, people. And just here, I'm going to blow it up because it's sexy. Oh, yeah. I love when I get in real close like that. You know what I mean? Oh, baby. Let me see the whole thing. Let me see. Oh, there we go. People, look at this. Look at this. P-rho, omicron, right? Phi, eta, tau, fate, Alpha Iota I, prophetai. Prophetai, that is a Greek word. You are used to hearing the term Hebrew prophets. Do you understand that prophet is a Greek concept that predates anything written in Hebrew by centuries? Centuries, this word is established. Prophetai, prophetai, prophets. What are the prophets doing here? All of the prophets were there, right? He went to he's going to a good place. But here's where the key is, and this is going to blow your mind. And this is our big entry for today. Are you ready? Hutoi esin pantes hoi prophetai. These are all the prophets. Kai hai oidai autai pason ton propheteon. And all of their songs, all of their hymns, all of their magic working songs. Do you see right from the beginning? This is all about magic. Prophecy and magic cannot, I told you this before, prophecy and magic cannot be separated. You can see right here. I want to bring you, I'm going to stop sharing and I've got to bring you, I want to look up a word for you with using the Greek lexicon. Percy's Tufts. And I just want you to see it. Here we go. I'll go back, and it was boom, boom. Okay, sorry, people. I'm getting there. I want you to look at this word. This is what he's talking about. Now, look again here. I'm going to show you. Look again at the word. Just so you can know, I'm not yanking your chain or anything. You know what I mean? Here's the word, and that first letter is an omega, right, with an iota underneath it, right? Oidai, right? It's from aoidos. Aoido is the verb, right? Aede is a command. Aede thea. That's what you say to the muse, right? We have all of these thousands and thousands and thousands of these ancient works in Greek. And what do they start with? Sing, muse, right? It's physics, people. It's physics. What is that aoide or aoida? Right? Notice the Attic contract to oide. Oide. That is their Attic form. Good. That's what we'll be speaking in Athens. And there's your verb aedo. Song. They tell you song. Well, it can be just the art of song. It can be the act of singing. It can be a thing song. It can be a theme, right? And then look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. Number 5. People, can you see it? Boom. So you don't think I'm lying to you, right? And look at the word next to it. Oh my God. Spell or incantation. Spell or incantation, right? But look at in the parentheses, what are they doing? They're not singing here. They're speaking out. They're reading the incantation. These are not always just straight up songs like you think they're songs. There is an element of magic and drug use in them already. Now, Paul takes us to a couple other places. Punishments of the dead. We got the goes. We got the, just in case, Chewy, what's another page? What's the next page after that one? 55. Because people, there's a beautiful prophecy thing in here that I want you to see. Oh, God, this is it. Okay. You are going to absolutely love this. People, hold on. Hold on to your everything in this one. Okay. I'm addressing this to the priest of Apollo, right? This is the section that I would want you most to be able to look at and get your understanding of. Here we go. Are you ready, people? Let's do this. Boom and boom. Fantastic. Fantastic. And I saw, oh God, I saw a great and tall thusiasterion in the city, in the middle of the city. What city have we gotten to? We have gotten to the city of God. How did we get there, people? This is trippy. Are you ready? There is a sphere, a cloud of fire. And that cloud of fire is meant to burn off impurity. And in the middle of this cosmic cloud of fire is the city of God. And this thing is huge. This thing is huge. And Paul talks about going into the city of God, being led by these angels, right? Right. And this is after he's gone to, he goes in this work, he goes to hell, he goes to Tartarus specifically, and then he goes to paradise. Right? Now you're sitting there thinking, what about that creep Dante? Yeah. What about that creep Dante? Check out this work. You're going to be surprised. You know, I had a friend professor who was an expert in Dante. Right? I had more respect for that guy than anyone. Did Italian stuff, old Italian stuff like that. Fantastic professor. Right? I wonder if he knows that this document is out there because it mimics, or I should say, Dante mimics it. Right? And then people will say, oh, yeah. Right? Alighieri, right? Whatever. Here we go. Right. It really is the inferno, but we've gone to paradise, Tartarus, and now we're going to the city of God. This is a quantum physics that is not present in other revelations, but forms the basic scaffolding of the entire vision, because that apocalypse is vision, right? Oh, so it tells you what that scaffolding is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I know why they threw this thing away. I know why the Christians threw this thing away. It's too dangerous, right? Because Paul is having these visions via drugs, right? Via very dangerous drugs. We're talking about the work of Satan. And he says that throne is here and it is working. It is the mystery of anomia, the mystery of lawlessness. And in this apocalypse, he describes this intercourse, the sexuality and the combination of the sexuality with the right and what that produces again, over and over and over again. And this is what I kind of want to step back from it. I want to say, before we get to something, this really cool passage, I want to say, people are recognizing this. Our labors are not in vain, people. Okay. On two fronts, we have gouged the eye of the apocalypse of theology. We have gouged out the eye of the apocalypse of theology. Oh, God. How do we do this? Number one, two reasons. Number one, the Christ. They cannot get past the Christ as a drug. They can't, right? They're scrambling and there's no defense for it whatsoever, right? Number two, Hebrew being the language of the Septuagint. That great lie is crumbling. In correspondence that I have with people, in things that people are doing and the way that they're reacting is absolutely phenomenal, even at the university level. I love the fact that you and I can reach that level without having to go through the guardians. We can be Ronan. I absolutely love this. And it's really bothering people. It's really bothering people, right? Because the monists should have some kind of response to me. They should have some kind of way of explaining exactly how I'm wrong, and they can't. With Christ, they absolutely cannot. They absolutely cannot. I'm still waiting for a video. Video is going to come out. It's going to show you one of these academics, and they're going to be put on their ass, right? Why? Because they didn't know what a Christ was. And this is a biblical scholar who boasted, is set up perfectly, boasted about reading me under the ground. Boom. Bring up Euripides, dead man. Do you understand? His entire career just flashed before his eyes. Everybody saw, oh my God, he doesn't know what he's talking about. People, the gallery of Bible brothels, they don't know what they're doing. We can take it. Oh God, it's gorgeous. It's total victory, bro. What do they call it? Mortal Kombat. What is it? What is it? Total victory or something? I don't know. Fatality, maybe. Right? It's something like that. Total fatality. Okay, people, back to the text. I want to show you this gorgeous text. Nobody's going to show you this. There's no brothel on the planet that has this for you. It's just me. And here you go. And I saw that Thusiasterion. What is that Thusiasterion? It is the place of the Thusia, of the sacrifices, the fumigations. And it is what? Okay, people, ready? This is so beautiful. Priest of Apollo, this is you. Kai entis estos. And there was one person standing in the presence of the Thusiasterion, whose face shone like the sun. And he had in his hands the psalterion and the kitharon. Do you understand what those are? Right? Those are the guitars. What's the difference? One is the one that they use the plectrum with, and one is the one that they finger. Okay. And what is this great shine? And by the way, why is this guy shining like the sun? Is this an expression? What does this mean? Dude walks around and, it can be totally dark and he can light up the whole room? No, absolutely not. He shined as the sun as an expression for the children of Apollo, for those who were in the line. This Son of God, who is priest, holds in his hand the key, and that key to opening the gate of Hades is the kitharon. It's the key. Now, you're sitting there, people, and I want you to tell me. Yeah, I want you to tell me. I'm going to ask you in a second, but the question is, what are the physics that they are talking about? This is vision, this is magic, this is drugs and music. And somehow this person, this Son of God, is going to play beautifully to Alleluia, the alaladzoing, the triumphant shout. That is why they're sitting. That's why they're sitting there. The triumphant shout, the thing that you now call the hallelujah, that is not from Hebrew, it's from Greek. Right? That lie that is from Hebrew is begun at the same time that these writings are being composed, and this author follows that pathway and tries to give you a Hebrew etymology, because at the time these documents are establishing the foundation of a monism that is fighting with another monism. We are fighting over legitimacy. And if this word hallelujah is not Hebrew, then there is no legitimacy. Okay. Look at this word in Greek, people. I'll show you where it's from. You want to see the real etymology? Here we go. I'm just going to call this one up. Now, there are three forms of this one that we've seen: alaladzo, elaledzo, and ololudzo. I'm just going to show you alaladzo. And I'm going to show you it within a cult context, people. Are you ready? And then we're going to get to something really cool. Boom. Here it is, people. Alaladzo. And what does it mean to raise the war cry? To cry or to shout. And look, especially where? Especially where, people? Oh, let's fill it with some orange. I like this orangey. Especially in orgiastic rites. Bacchus and Bacchae. Now, people, I know you didn't believe me, and I know there are Semitic language scholars that watch this show. Okay, I mean legitimate people with training, right? And I want those language scholars to look at this expression in Greek. You think I'm kidding? Here's the actual expression in Greek. I'm doing something you cannot do. Alaladze psalmos. Do you see the psalm again? Do you see the plucking of the guitar and the alaladzo, the hallelujah? Okay, this is a Greek concept. And what we are doing in Paul's vision is entering into the triumphant war cry. Now, for some reason, you need it. You can't break through without this thing, right? In order to have this vision, in order to be in this state, you have to be able to have the mechanics work. And the mechanics don't work if you don't have the drugs right, you don't have the right, and you don't have the song with the kithara doing what it's supposed to do to unlock the door so that phone can speak to you. The voice can speak to you. What did the people do? Look at this, people. The priest of Apollo's voice. Now that word voice, where do you think the voice of the priest of Apollo comes from? It doesn't come from one of his chorus members. It comes from his kithara. That phone is not just a human singing voice. It is the sound of an instrument. We get phonics from that, right? In English, all the phon roots, right? His kithara is what has the voice that is the key to the underworld. And in order to bring us there, he's got to bring the hallelujah. And when he does, everybody hears. Everybody hears. And how does everybody respond? Get this. They respond with incredible shouts. This noise of people shouting rises up and fills the whole city. The kithara of the priest of Apollo will free the people by opening the gates to the underworld. Oh, God. Oh, God. Is that gorgeous? What's the next one? 64. There's one more. 60. 60 and 64. Okay, there's a couple of things here I wanted you to see. That was the priest of Apollo. Oh, look, people, here's something you can help me with. Look at this. This is crazy. Here are women who are the bearers of the black. The women bearers of the black. And where do they do their thing? I want to know these ladies. They do their things in dark, dark places. Right? Who are these ladies? Oh, God, these are the magicians. These are the drug users, people. Did you see the word drug? You think I'm kidding? People are always telling me, drugs! Yeah, I need to see more drugs in the Bible. That's because your pastor and preacher and priest, they've never fucking read you the Bible. Here it is. Drug users and goetes. You know what a goetes is? That's an early Greek magus. Right? These are the people who used. You remember what we saw them use elsewhere? If you remember, what does the goes use? The goes uses a viper venom that is so dangerous. There is absolutely nothing anybody can do once they've gotten it. Right? Their particular version, by the way. Right? And they're using this stuff. These are the drugs that they're employing. Right? Can you imagine if you knew a person who was using a drug that kills everybody? Right? What are you going to think about that person? Well, shit, man. They start telling you stuff about visions and stuff. You may believe them. Paul the Apostle's bitten by one of the most dangerous snakes. The locals are laughing. They're laughing. They're saying, look at that idiot. He's got about 20 steps. One of them, he's got about 20 steps before he falls down dead. 20 steps before he falls down dead. And he doesn't. He just keeps on going. No sign of injury, no nothing. People, the art of drugs is making the cult. Is making the cult. It's so funny that the thing that you would argue against most desperately, monism, that art of drugs and the use of those drugs, that's what destroys you. What did that say? A witch did what? I want to see that again. A witch destroyed me. I'm still in recovery. Rock and roll. Am I supposed to feel sorry for you? I hope it was worth your time. It always is, man. You can't go wrong with witches. That's just the way it is. Here we go. One more. What was that other one, Chewy? 62. Let's see what 62 says. And then we'll go to our ending story. And I need people, please tell me about this. Oh God, people, you know what this says? It says there's this great frear. It's like a container, right? It's like people describe it as a reservoir, but it's something you put bad people in, right? Usually put water in it, but you can also put bad people and fire and darkness in it, right? A lot of this stuff, there's cutting of throats. I saw a guy pull out somebody's bowels from his mouth. Dude, that's a trick. You know what I mean? That's a trick. You didn't think that was here, did you? What are we talking about, people? We're talking about the anastasis necron. Look at this. Those of you who are I don't want to say philiacs, but necromancers. The word on the left, anastasis, is the word for resurrection. The word on the right, necron, is the word for the dead. This is a practice, people, within a cult. A practice within a cult. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you I want to ask you, having seen that, people, the monists seek to stop time and create an eternal tyranny. Well, the kingdom of God, Snappy, is the kingdom of God, right? It's a kingdom. What do monists try to do all the time? The Egyptian monists that are totally unrelated to either the Jewish monists or the Christian monists, those people, the Egyptian monists, they were trying to create a kingdom of a single God on earth. A single God, right? Oh, and that's the problem. We always go God. We always go to the kingdom. Okay, yes. More. The throne of God is established where the tree of life exists. Very good. Very good. That's the nature of reality by Kurt. Right? Fantastic. Right? Nature of reality. The throne. And why do you think that is, Kurt? Why do you think that is? Kurt, you've got 15 seconds. Put out an answer. Why must the throne of God be established where the tree of life grows? If anybody else can answer that, please. I can, but I'm waiting because Kurt threw it out there. Kurt, you want to talk? Go ahead. Give it to me. Give me a guess, Kurt, if you don't know. Boom. Yeah, you grab it, Chewy. By the way, this was in there too, Gareth. My head is shaved in the morning. Your hairs have fled with the swiftness of an arrow. Right? Because when a new village was established with a fruit tree, now, Kurt, are you yanking my chain, Kurt? It's going to get my goat. Kurt. I don't mind if you want to playfully get my goat. Go ahead, Chewy. Get Penelope out here. Look at me. Look into my eyes left and right and tell me that you're not going to make something up, Kurt. You sound like a Harvard graduate. What are you doing? Look, baby. Look into the cross. Cure yourself, okay? You need some help, baby. Fantastic. Whoops. Okay, take her down. People, why do we put with a cross over her? Because that cross, we know that hides a multitude of sin, right? It hides a multitude of sin. Why? People, why must the tree of life be present in order for us to have a throne of God? What is a throne of God? You don't know. You don't know. You remember 2 years ago when we saw it for the first time? A throne is a drug. It says that in the text. The Victorians figured that out. Okay. Those drugs that allow us to have the vision, right? That is the throne. You can't have it without the tree. Do you understand? It's like saying you can't get high, brother, without some kind of plant, right? You can't blast yourself to the third heaven unless you see that little hole in the ground where that little snake goes in there. You got to grab that snake next time he comes out and you got to milk him. You got to milk him. And then we're going to take that snake's venom and we're going to process it and we're going to put it through a series of steps where I can walk you in front of a statue and you can look into the eyes of that statue and say, oh my God, she's real. And Jesus Christ did that right in front of us. He walked up to a temple with two sphinges on either side of the entrance and he says, come alive to the one on the right. And the one on the right came alive and he told her, you've got to go prove these people wrong. Go to so-and-so a place, Mamre, the cave of Mamre, where the body of Abraham lies, and raise that body from the dead and speak to him. And she does. She does. And she goes back and gets him. And then she explains very beautifully why it is that the people practicing the rites that they were wrong. She speaks for Jesus. You didn't know that the Sphinx ever spoke for Jesus Christ, but she did. And people took that away from you. They took that away. They didn't want you to see that. People, let me ask you a question. Why is it that monists don't want us to know that Jesus spoke to the Sphinx, commanded her, and then that she came and supported him with her own oracle? Why do you think? Let's ask that. Why do you think? Here, let's see. Seatbelt? No, I don't think that's got anything to do with it. I'm just going to pick random. Okay? Very, very angry. Angelia, very angry. Yeah, right? Quick, people. Power? Is it power? I don't know. Chocolate. People? Okay. I need you. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Lauren. I need us to really answer the question, right? Why wouldn't a Christian priest want you, okay, to understand that Jesus used a sphinx and that sphinx complied in a way that was righteous and explained temple worship. She explained temple worship to them. People, think about this for a minute. A lot of jokers are out there saying, "Oh, is there some kind of pagan base to this religion?" Right? And they get, "Oh God, look at Homer," and there's reflections in Homer of all the things that you're talking about. It looks like a narrative was just grafted on. Bullshit, people. They play like little blind children because none of these people actually read the damn literature. If you'd read it, it's sitting right there in front of you. Your PhD is stupid, right? What's wrong with your PhD? It didn't train you. Not all PhDs are created equal, people. Not all PhDs are created equal. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. I was in grad school, right, when I learned that historians, they don't have to know the languages. They don't have to know Latin and Greek. Oh, they have to have some exposure. But if you throw a text in front of them, can they read it? No, right? right? A degree that is a degree in history does not enable you to use the evidence that is in your field. And when I realized this, the first thing I did was feel pity for the history professors, because I was like, dude, you're like, I don't understand. You read somebody else's interpretation of what happened, and then you come up with your own interpretation. What is wrong with that, right? What is wrong with that? If you're going to be a historian, of any period, you need to reach into that period, and you need to be able to handle the evidence from that period, right? Be like an archaeologist not knowing what a dig was, right? What is making a trench? How do you make a trench? And what, right? People, right? Now, don't think for a minute. Don't think for a minute that those degree programs aren't meant to make money, right? What is the oldest? Let me just ask you all, because people are, it's hard to trust somebody who's just throwing Greek at you and saying, look, here it is, right? Yeah. What is the oldest academic discipline? I'm going to throw this out and surprise people. What is the oldest academic discipline? Is it physics? Nope. Biology? Give me some guesses, people. Come on, you guys, people are smart. You people are smart. There's a humorist, right? Or at least Snappy's talking about humorism, right? People tell me. I need an answer to that question. What was that question? Yeah. What was the first discipline? Right? Was it PE? Larry. Nice one, Larry. Larry's okay, stop it, Larry. Geometry. Was it geometry? No. No. Philosophy? No. Wasn't philosophy. Anybody else? Stars? Nope. What was the first official academic discipline? Are you ready? Classical philology. Yeah. The study of Greek. Greek grammar. The oldest discipline. Oh, God. This is the university system, right? Do you remember Alexandria and the library? The library at Alexandria? What do you think that was founded by? That was founded by a bunch of classical philologists who were trying to teach Homer, trying to preserve and teach Homer. The library kept all of those scrolls. Do you understand? Think about that for a minute. The preservation of the language of ancient Greek is the original academic discipline. How far have we come from that? You're right, Nancy. Grammar is sexy, right? Grammar is like that mirror that you can look into yourself. When you understand grammar, you understand yourself. And when you watch what the Greeks do with their grammar, it gives you insight into the mind, like how the mind is working, how complex and gorgeous this thing could be. Okay, I want to just hit one more thing with you today, people. And I brought this because it's dessert and I thought you would like it. It's dessert and I thought you would like it. This is the Ante-Nicene Fathers, right? Before the Nicene Creed and all that. About the dragon and the young man. Wait a minute. The next one's about the demon that dwelt in the woman. That's the one I really want. That's the one I want. Right? Who cares about? Okay, people, can we just read a couple of paragraphs about this? I'll just touch off the beginning. And the apostle went forth to go where the Lord had bidden him. And when he came near the second milestone, he turned a little out of the way and saw the body of a beautiful youth. Oh, God, here we go again. Lord, was it for this that you brought me out to come here that I might see this trial? Oh, people, do you remember this? I want you to see. Boom. And to me, indeed, it was pleasant to tell thee this, for I know that you are the twin brother of Christ. You didn't know? Didymus, right? Twin brother. And always bring our race to naught. But not wishing to harass her, I did not at this time put him to death, but I watched, right? By the way, apostles love putting people to death, dude. We watched yesterday one pray 7 people to death. Would you like to be able to do that? If you could just walk in to your, to somewhere that, was not a nice place and just pray to Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ would just lights out on people, what would you be doing? Would you be afraid? No. Right? People are afraid of apostles for very good reasons. But I watched him passing by in the evening, and I struck him. Why? What's happening, people, here? This dragon is watching this girl. He says, there is a certain woman in this place who is exceedingly beautiful. People, how many times are we going to have the power of the devil being the power of the beauty? And as she was once passing by, I saw her and fell in love with her, and I followed and watched her, and I found this young man kissing her. You've got a woman and a young man kissing each other, and that's young man there. I didn't look at the Greek for this. I just brought the English, right? Guess what? I give you one guess about what that young man is. Did you think? Okay, anyway. And he also had intercourse with her, and did with her other, shameful things, right? And to me, indeed, it was pleasant to tell thee this, for I know that thou art the twin brother of Christ, and always bringest our race to naught, but not wishing to harass her, I did not this time put him to death. But I watched him passing by in the evening and struck him and killed him. And especially as he had dared to do this on the Lord's day. You see, people, this is one cultist talking to another. If you think this is Lord of the Rings dragons, right, you're wrong. It's not. A dragon is a temple guardian. And he said to him, I am the offspring. Let's see who this dude is talking to the apostle. I am the offspring, right? Both of these people are extremely dangerous. I am the offspring of the race of the serpent and hurtful of the hurtful. I am son of him who hurt and struck the 4 brothers that stood. Now, you and I are like, huh? I am son of him who sits on the throne of destruction. The important thing is he just told you, right? He's son of the person who murdered those 4 people. I am son of him who sits on the throne of destruction and takes his own from what he has lent. I am son of that apostate who encircles the globe. People, satanic congregation, please tell me, who is this apostate who circles the globe? I am kinsman to him is outside the ocean. How are they finding this stuff out, people? Whose tail lies in his mouth. Okay, now all of you cultists here who've been watching, right? Anybody who's been watching, and people knew this before. I didn't bring this up to people. The Ouroboros, the serpent with the tail in his mouth, is a part of the cult tradition. I am he who went into paradise and spoke with Eve. I am he who inflamed and fired Cain. I am he who cast down the angels from above. Oh, people, did you know you can do this? Did you know this is an act of nature? I am he who cast down the angels from above. Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to do that? Whoops. Boom. Here you go, people. You see what you have to do? Right? This is not a liar speaking to a fraud. These are 2 cultists who have been given drug-induced visions, who have been given a new birth. What are we producing from all of this? Earthborn children, people. Have you had your mortality burned off? I'm talking to satanic congregation now. Meat man. Yeah, meat man's coming back. Right. This is what I want to ask you. How do you, satanic congregation, how do you burn off your mortality? Love it too, Kurt. Love it too. And thanks for participating, by the way. Right. Right. How do we do it? Burn me, right? Non-abnormal wants to be burnt. How do we do it, people? Does anybody have it? Right? Drugs? Drugs, is that what we're going to do? Or are we just going to look around for the right drugs, right? Right? Salvation. Very nice. Ms. Hyatt, very nice. Through salve. Look at it's a salve, like, something you put on your skin or something, right? It's a salvation. That's what the Christ is. That's exactly what the Christ is. Oh, God. Oh, God. Here. Oh, don't forget, who are we talking about? In each of the eyes? Venus and Leo. Right? Oh, God. Right? What is this? Weed and reggae. Well, that's just, okay. Fantastic. Fantastic. Here's my question, though. I've seen a lot of people in my lifetime. You know what I mean? I've never seen somebody with their mortality burned off. I've never seen a true child of God. There is a gift. There is a gift that follows along. Yeah. What causes one to shine like the sun? Do you know any people in satanic congregation? You ever seen somebody who shines like the sun? Do we know any musicians who shine like the sun? Do you know a son of God? Do you know an oracular woman? Do you know a woman who's a child of God and has a foresight? And this is exactly what I said. Good. Fantastic. Good. Christ me, baby. Do you know a woman like that? Picture yourself just for a minute. 75% of my audience is male, 25% female. I want the 75% of you guys right now. I want you to imagine that you are a virgin girl. I want you to put yourself somewhere between 12 and 14. And I want you to feel the instinct to sing reality, to be that muse, to be the vessel in which Apollo can sing the universe. Right? This discovery of yourself is the cosmos. Right? Now, men, I'm sorry. You had to put yourself in the position of a virgin girl. Right? No, Larry said, no way, dude, I'm all. But Larry, listen, here's the thing, Larry. You have to do thought experiments, right? In order to make the brain learn. It's like a machine, and you can take things apart with it and you can put them back together. You can cause yourself to grow. You can see things that are invisible, right? Right? So, wait, go back to Larry. What did Larry say? Go back to Larry's comment because you have to be able. I know that you're old man. I don't doubt it, Larry. I don't doubt that if I were there with you tonight and we kicked back and took it easy. Larry, I hope you're over 18. If you're over 18 and we were there, Larry, I'd kick back with you. And can you imagine us trying to do a thought experiment? Think about it for a minute. Get a whole group of your male friends along. Just the most masculine dudes you can want. You're right. Just, you know what? Make them all go to the gym, Larry, and work out first. So they come to you. They're all hard muscled and everything. Maybe put a little oil on them. You know what I mean? Put them in their skivvies or something. And then make them sit down. All of you, all 12 of you together. And you sit there and you discuss things. And you use this. And I say to you, okay, we're all virgin girls. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? You know, Einstein used to do that. Right? Now, I don't know if he thought he was a virgin girl, but he would sit and contemplate and work through his own thought experiments. Right? right? And with other people. Think about that for a minute. Put yourself into the place of that virgin girl. Okay. One of these documents is about the Blessed Mother entering into death. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Can snake venom make you younger? I don't know. They seem to. It's one of the fields of ancient magic that they claim to be able to control, and specifically Medea. She has drugs that she puts on her skin to cause it to be wrinkled to make her look older, and then she has drugs that she puts on her skin to make it look really puffy and youthful. Right? Nobody can gauge your age. Right? She's got a transfusion process where she takes out your blood and adds other, right? And it's not just blood, it's a concoction of stuff. This stuff is crazy, people. But we have pictures of her doing this as far west as Etruria. The Etruscans are drawing her doing this. They're sculpting her doing this or putting her on pots, while the people in the Black Sea region, I mean, that's where she's active. Corinth, right? Holy mackerel, she's all over the place. So she was doing something with the aging process. I don't know. People, we can't even reproduce one of her drug compounds. Well, how the hell would we know the extent to the efficacy of these things, right? I've been this excited for information such long. Thank you, Roger. Right? Roger that. Fantastic. Why is this stuff exciting, by the way? Can anybody tell me? That was a good question, Roger. It feels funny asking a female Roger, but calling a female Roger, but that's okay. Why do you think that is? First be a woman. Oh, that's nice. First be a woman. I was a woman, and so was every other person listening to my voice, because everybody starts out as women, right? That clitoris just develops into a penis, right? All you have, man, is an enlarged when you talk about fetal tissue and embryonic development. All you have, man, is an overgrown clitoris, right? What happens to a perfect woman when her clitoris becomes overgrown? A man. You get a perfect man. Isn't that interesting? You thought you were first because Yahoo told you. Fuck Yahoo. Christine de Pizan tells us she became a man in totality in order to build the city of ladies. You see how easy that was? Look. If she can do it, Larry, if a woman can mentally put herself in the place of a man, why can't a man put himself in the place of a woman? Oh, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. No, it's circumcision, female circumcision. This is how stupid people are. You don't want to know how smart in the future. They just have a wall, and every generation gets some kind of question. And ours is female circumcision? Oh, my God. The Greeks look at each other like in horror. You know what I mean? You're going to take something nature made and, never mind. I can mentally put myself in the place of anywhere or anyone I want. Excellent. Good. Right? Flexibility. That's what we need to do when we go into these texts, people. I took a lot of years of classical philology, and the secret was the whole time, put yourself into the shoes of the person writing it. Right? Empathy, sympathy, connection. The more you are an individual, the more separated you are from a reality that was meant to make your brain grow. Oh, God. I love it. Okay. People, that was just a sampling of a whole bunch of stuff as we get ready to finish up for today. I want to open up the gallery to you. Is putting yourself, wait, put that one back. Is putting yourself in other people's shoes. Another way, practicing necromancy. Very much, right? Empathy, that connection. What do you get when you pick up somebody who's dead and you bring their words back to life in your brain? Right? You are becoming that person. You are making their thoughts your thoughts. And monism uses this to train people, just like polytheism does. Yeah. It's pure. Necromancy is at the heart. At the heart. Remember, if we were cut off and when somebody died, that was it. And there was nothing to make us attached. You know, your wife or your kid or your grandpa would get up one morning and fall over dead, and you would walk over their body and you would be like, what am I going to do today? But the reason you can't do that is one word: memory. And it's what the Greeks realized is the basis for the song of the cosmos: memory. The reason we love Homer is memory. And that is why Homer says, Aid Thea, sing, goddess, sing, muse. Oh, I love it. I think we just made love somehow. I think there's a cosmic lovemaking going on. I love it. Look into a mirror, right? Fix on your eyes, or fixate on your. That person's trying to bamboozle you. Who is that? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, people, thank you for coming today. I'm going to wrap it up with that. We're not going to have a Lady Babylon tonight because we obviously just had one, right? But I want to end with one genius question. Oh, wait, who said that about Galen? Who put Galen? Hail Homer, Galen, and Nonus. Oh, God. Street dreams. Imagine a drunken revelry with those three. You and those three. And me. I would come to that. Chewy too. Amen. Seeing through the eyes of others. Amen. Seeing. LB. What is LB? Lady Babylon. Oh my God, he's dumb. Don't talk about me like that. I told you guys I was dumb. Is there a Discord? No, I ran from Discord. There is one. Other people are running it, but it's not attached to me. Okay? But it's very good people running it, by the way. And there are students on there who've done the Greek, right? Who've been through the intensive course. And there's a whole bunch of people who put up things that are wonderful, right? So, finishing up, no nuns. No nuns. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody wrote to me. I'm going to say this and then I'll be done and we're going to run out of battery. Somebody wrote to me and said, hey, two of the Russians that were on the kibbutz that worked with you on the dig know you. I mean, he said they work with me. Right? Now, I told a story about two Russians. I hope it's these two guys. Oleg, and I can't remember the other guy's name. Oh, I'm sorry. Oleg, I'll think of his friend's name. But I woke up one night at 2 a.m. and there were two young guys. They're like 19, 20, something like that. And it sounded like the hitting of ham. It sounded like somebody had a big ham, was smashing it. I was terrified. I looked through my little blinds like this and I was like, oh my God, what's going on out there? And these two Russian kids, young guys, were beating the unholy hell out of each other. And behind them, I'm not kidding, under the street light was standing a gorgeous Russian maiden. She was gorgeous. Oh God, what was her name? She went to the class. She went to the Hebrew class. It wasn't Anastasia. It was something. Anyway, she was standing there watching them and they duked it out, man, until the one of them hit the ground. Boom. And the other one walked up to her, took her hand, and they went off. Right? It was fantastic. It was like a slice of some kind of, nature movie that was anthropologically oriented towards the customs, the dating customs of these Russian students, friends of ours, right? It was fun. It was fun. So I'm glad Oleg and whoever, I can't remember. Thank you for showing me power of Eros, because every time I see something like that, it's just a little slice of life, you get just a little reflection of Aphrodite, and you're just like, oh, love it. So to the gent who talked to the two Russians that were there with me, please give Oleg and God, give them both a big hug for me. Slap them around, or give them a something to enjoy their weekend on, or something. But guys, good. I hope you're still out there beating each other up. Thank you for coming to Lady Babylon tonight.
Lovely Diana, reign with magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Her arrows darken the sky, a flight of ravens flying through. Ophir harp, dark lord melody shining through. Death inducer, raining blood, bite your lip. Bellissima in the vampire dress, cracking leather whips. Reign with your magic. Hail Satan, spells of Lucifer. Hail Satan, Catherine of the wheel. Hail Satan, the lake of fire is clear. Sing the muse. Reign with magic, death inducer. Darkest dreams come true, kisses for you. Goat head soup, it's magic. You can have a giant rubber devil in a tight dress. Whiplash. Do androids dream of electric sheep? Mr. Sandman with the hot purple anointing cream, it knocks him out. The drugs weigh a ton. Snow blonde, do your makeup. Girl, be my private dancer. Hecate says I'm her main squeeze. Lucifer the light bearer. Myrtle of Venus.